would have just as much nerdy fun with it. So we'll get to it very soon. Niran says, who was unlucky at cricketer, Phil Jacques or Brad Hodge? Victorian bias is allowed. This is tough for me because I'm friends with Hodgie. So because I'm friends with Hodgie, I'll say Phil Jacques. Just because I think if you're an Australian middle orders batter, you're always going to come up against 3 or 4 all-timers. Like there's almost, it's very rare that Australia doesn't have, especially number 4 and 5 who are just absolutely exceptional. They, as a culture, they seem to find them easier than almost anyone else does. Maybe India is the only one that would be close on that sort of thing. Whereas I think with Jake's, also, what's he averaging? 47 in Test cricket. He averages about 48, 49 for New South Wales. Does his back and then fades away. Whereas at least Hodge was like, well, look at all these other guys I can't force into. Whereas I think Jake's kind of proven he was very good. That's how I remember it anyway.
Oh, yeah, and I did commentary with him during the Sydney Test this time. Wonderful man, like a very humble, and I really...
And Hodgie is not humble, so that also does...
Well, that adds into it, doesn't it? Like, that plays into it. No, but you're right. Phil Jacques, between 2006 to... And at a time when, Justin Langer's gone, Hayden's... on the wane, is about to quit or retire from Test cricket. So Australia desperately needed a stable opener, and Phil Jacques was that man. He scored runs everywhere, right? Like all around the world, wherever he got the chance. Unfortunately, doesn't get a chance to play an Ashes series away from home, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think he played many big series, did he? He played some tough ones and did well. But yeah, look, I think you're right. I think to me anyway, I thought this is a guy that probably we get 3 years of high performance out of. Probably, I mean, his average is probably slightly inflated by the amount of tests he played, but I could have easily averaged between 43 and 45, and been a very, very good player in that way. Hodgie is different. I mean, I first saw Hodgie when he was about, well, I was going to say when he was little, but I suppose he's still little. But I first saw Hodgie when he must have been, was he 16 when he made his debut for Victoria? 17? He looked about 12 when he came out to bat. And that first season, I think he made over 1,000 runs, and it was like, wow. He actually then had a bunch of years where he was in and out of the side. He couldn't get it right. He then, when he gets it right, it's probably late on. I would say, though, he still has a very good Australian career, just not in Test match cricket, right?
True.
Whereas Jake doesn't really have one.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, both made... Didn't Phil Jacques make a double hundred as well? I'm pretty sure. So both make Test double hundreds.
Do you make one against Sri Lanka? Am I making that up?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he does make a double hundred against Sri Lanka at home. So both have Test double hundreds to their name. But I'm with you. I think Phil Jacques, at least in terms of Test cricket, and he didn't have a very bad one-day record either, Phil Jacques. I mean, he didn't play enough. But Brad Hodge is a World Cup winner. He had a long run in T20 cricket. He was, for the longest time, one of the more successful batters for Australia. And T20
played until he was 60.
He did. I mean, I think he's still playing somewhere. So
I tell you, when we were at St. Lucia, when we started to lose, it took everything I had to pull him back from putting the pads on.